figure that stuff out about your car when you're in a safe spot rather than oh crap moment. Then at least you'll have a little bit more knowledge.
Well, the car has an all-wheel drive CX-9, so it's pretty heavy. So I'm not so worried about the lightness, but I am worried about the lack of experience in it, because like at least here I don't feel like it's going to be as bad as if we were in a place like Michigan, but I don't want to be stuck in a situation where because mostly in this area, and Silas knows, this area is hilly as fuck. Like that's the biggest problem with this area, is it's like super hilly.
Yeah, with hills you're screwed. No amount of practice is going to help you with those.
Right, exactly. Which is why I'm thinking, like, unless I have to, if it's super icy, I'm not going anywhere. You know, if it was flatter, I wouldn't have an issue with screwing around with it, but you know, once it gets icy here, I'm not fucking with that.
Do you have ice scrapers for your car?
No, I will get those. I do have de-icing stuff.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Yeah, you want the de-icing stuff. You want salt for your house, for like your porches, your driveways, stuff like that.
I almost bought some of that at Target the other day. I saw some on the shelves. I'm gonna get a snow blower and blow it all over to my neighbor's yard.
Yep, snow blowers work nice.
That's my goal.
The de-icer is actually really nice for just getting it off of your car handles if it's like really, really bad.
Yeah.
That's what I'd use mine for if it ever got that bad.
Yeah, I think we don't have, like, on average, we only get, I think it was like 18 inches of snow a year, 16 to 18, so we don't get like nearly as much as, like, my dad grew up in Syracuse. They get like 120 or something stupid. It's like 8 feet of snow or some dumb shit because of the
You don't get too much snow here.
Yeah,
the problem is we're in that like middle area between like just lots of rainy stuff and ice. And so sometimes you'll get like half an inch of ice all over your car, and it's just like you never get it out.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Is if it's that bad, I'm not digging my car out of that shit anyway, unless I absolutely have to. So I'm not going anywhere.
That's pretty much what I do. Yeah, I just don't go anywhere until it like melts itself.
Yeah, exactly. And from what I saw, I was looking at the weather here too, and it's really helter-skelter in the winter too. It'll be like, you know, it'll go down to like 4 degrees or whatever, and then like 2 days later it's back in the 30s and 40s. You know, it's like it doesn't stay in that super cold range for very long. So it can get really cold. It's just, you know, I'm glad now I don't live in a place like well, weather-wise, I'm glad I don't live in Michigan. I think in the summer, Michigan would have been better, but then you just have longer winters.
You okay, Amelia?
So I have a bit of a fever. Took some medicine.
Oh, that sucks.
I hope I will try to push through.
Alright, well, if we have to end early, just let me. Are you staying off cam tonight?
Oh,
you can if you want.
It's okay.
Seriously.
I've been feeling sick this past few days.
Dude, I did for about 4 or 5 days too, and I think it was fucking allergies for me.
Yeah.
I think it was because of the I felt like achy for like 4 days, 5 days.
Yeah, like my chest hurts.
Oh shit.
Stomach hurts too. Like everything hurts.
Do you have the in-home COVID test just in case?
I did. I had like I have a whole bunch of it. I already took it. So negative.
I like your hat.
I know.
Thank you.
She looks so cute in freaking beanies.
Yeah, this is my winter hat. But this is very nice when I feel cold.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I started taking thankfully my anxiety stuff is also an antihistamine.
Yeah.
So that helps, but I know for me, anytime there's ragweed in the air, it fucks me up. Like I almost universally get sinus infections if there's ragweed in the air, like almost every time, which there is right now.
Yeah, it's been pretty nasty. I actually took an allergy pill yesterday. Today?
Yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been just gross. The weather's nice.
Oh yeah, I love it. This is the way the weather should be all the time. 60s, mid 60s during the day, 30s and 40s at night. That's perfect.
Well, in the Midwest, it's switching is a default constantly.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like how, I don't know. So in Arizona, like it's still in Phoenix, at least it's still in the in Phoenix, it's still in the hundreds.
Well,
So I called my dad today, and he was like, "Yeah, it was 103 today." I was like, "Yeah, it was 65 here."
yeah.
Sorry, Jenna.
It was 38 degrees last night. You know, it's crazy.
Jenna will be here this Friday to get out of the heat.
Yeah.
Which one? Jenna's room? No, we have not finished Jenna's room. We'll finish it tomorrow and Friday.
Imagine if she came a week early, when it like one day it was 80, the next day it was 50.
I know. That would be crazy. She'd be like, her body would just go in shock. But I don't know. I would imagine that's how she felt too when she flew into fucking state, Jenna. The one that you go to. Babe, where's her man live?
Massachusetts.
Thank you. Massachusetts. That one. She flew in there and it was yeah. I know my geographies. I'm good with it.
Do you know where we are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't ever know where I am. It's okay though.
If you just point directly in the middle of the United States, you're pretty much there.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
I think maybe Jazz is like maybe dead center, huh?
I'm pretty sure it's.
Probably not where I am, but maybe where I'm from.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure the middle of the United States is in Kansas.
Yeah, it's like northern Kansas. I think there's actually like a historic like marker point you can go to see it.
Really?
Lebanon, Kansas.
It's really funny that it's named after a different fucking country.
Of course it is. Let's see, geographic center.
The United States.
Yeah, see, that's only like 50 miles from my hometown in Nebraska.
Oh wow.
You know, there's a funny story about the FBI being sent to this one house because it was dead set in the middle of the United States, because every time they get like an error or something and it just targets the USA, it targets the direct middle. So they get sent to that house a lot.
Wow.
That's hilarious. I believe it though.
That's insane.
That's how I got this apartment though. They just put Kansas City and it was in the middle of like an industrial zone, but then in the text they were talking about it. So I was like, is that really where it is?
Wow.
That's funny.
Luckily the website they were using to track stuff moved it to like the middle of a lake.
Well, that's good.
So that one house stopped getting raided.
Like, can you imagine? I'd be like, I'm fucking moving. The feds better buy this goddamn house.
Yeah, you'd think a lawyer would have a field day with that.
For sure. I mean, I would assume, but you know. Maybe people just enjoyed the stories. Alright. So everybody has had their notes.
Yep.
Their mini books.
Many novels.
Well, for you it was a novel. I'm sorry. Just happened to be what you researched. Now this is obviously hasn't happened yet, but I wanted to give everybody that knowledge so that we weren't spending 30 minutes reading and like reviewing during session. So last session you were at the Temple of the First Ones to fix the weave and try and rid the people of the affliction here in the Hollow. You believe that you have, Nimu rebalanced what was that what had been manipulated for the weave that included the way of the mind, and in some strange shape or form, doing all of that you all ended up in the room of the seat of the mind, which was Imrosi. You had an interesting conversation with him about whether or not to release him from his prison. He tried to do his best to persuade you. However, he knows that what you are doing is important, so he gifted you with one of his abilities anyway, which has already come in handy, which is good. After that, you met with the three who were waiting you on the platform itself within the ruins, and you all headed back to Shir Lumen to go over exactly what had happened, make a decision on what you want to do, share your information with the three, and visit the library. Now, after a long rest, finally, you had a discussion with the three, and they took you down to the library into the transcription room to make a copy of your memories of what you wish to share. After Mundrick performed this magic on you, besides Jax and Soli, of course, the three took a moment, or a few moments, to review what it is that you had shown them. Valoran was quite concerned about what he saw in multiple ways, but being that at this very moment, the biggest question is whether or not to alter the weave to allow more arcane energy and power to be allowed here. That was his main concern. But I think he had come to the conclusion that if somebody else is already trying to manipulate the weave, it might be best to do it in a way that is better for you all and for Avenvon than for the purposes of the other people. Bruvar just wanted to destroy the weave. He was good destroying the weave or finding a reset button. Though, of course, that's not a possibility. Mundrick is all about adjusting the weave however it is that you are able, allowing more power, and also releasing Imrosi from his prison. At the very end, you all had a discussion. Nothing had been decided. Dorus had mentioned that he thought it was a good idea to possibly speak to CR Saenti. And Soli and Jax had walked away from the conversation. I don't know if you had gone and retrieved Soli and Jax for this conversation about talking to CR Saenti before. However, it is up to you what you want to do now. So, as you make your way out of the transcription room, past the entrance hall, you enter the first room of the library. Soft golden lights fill the room from chandeliers hanging from above, and magical groups of lights over each table. Beautifully polished wooden bookshelves fill the room, decorated with carved images of the plants and animals of the area along the sides of them. Tables and chairs in the same style are placed throughout the room for quiet study. Hanging between tall, tinted windows are tapestries depicting each of the three main cities and highlighting their expertise. Along the side of the room are two winding staircases that lead up to the other floor, and entrances to stairwells that lead to a lower floor. Mundrick gives you a moment to take it all in, and then gestures to a few people in simple but beautiful purple tunics embroidered in silver with vines, and the symbol of the library in the center of the chest. Our cubes will help you locate tablets and books for your research. Please take as much time as you need. The three, we have much to discuss about what we viewed from your memories and all that entails. And we're also going to try and get reports from Hayfin and Ticknil about the afflicted, and maybe we'll get good news back. If there's anything you need, please feel free to ask our Cumes, and they will help you in any way that they can. Unless
If
you
you talk to villages, ask also if the attacks have slowed or ceased.
Of course, we will do that. Thank you for everything so far, and I hope that you're able to find some answers for any questions that you may have here in our library. And he will leave you to it. The Acumes are just librarians of a greater sort, but they will aid you in finding the research that you had requested. For EOA, that was the information that he believes hidden by Mundrik, runic magic in the valley, and anything on the first ones or the Vareki. And also you wanted to do something with the fractal wind essence for Soli.
That was just a side thing, if Soli was doing that or not.
Okay. So I already added the ability to your character sheet, Soli, for that. So at some point during the day today, you're more than welcome to take some time as a group, however that looks, maybe just you and Nemu, because y'all are doing some studying together, to incorporate that wind essence into your fire abilities. Nemu wanted to know how to bring the dragons back, study the Keenson,
It's true.
and if he was able to locate information on artifacts of power. Jax is studying up on his druidic abilities and trying to perfect those. Soli wanted to know more about the Phoenix, which I will say there isn't much. And also information on the Keenson, of course. Dorus sent me a list of things to research. I'm telling everybody what everybody else is researching. That way you just kind of have an understanding. Information about the anchors, about balance, the spectrals, the ways. More events about the destruction, or information about the events of the destruction. Anything about the Devourer, which was mentioned by Ciara Saenti when you met them. And then information about his personal magics and that kind of thing. So, those of you who are led downstairs to the part of the collective that includes the tablet. This lower floor is a stark contrast from the main floor above, which was lined in wood and warm and comforting. Though the floor below does have the same soft golden glow from magical lights, here, instead of the wooden bookcases, there are pillars of magically created stone that holds the tablets in perfectly molded cubbies. The floor and walls are all covered in rich carpets and tapestries to help warm the area and prevent sound from traveling. The seating areas, instead of being tables with chairs, are cushioned armchairs and ottomans for lounging and couches for long periods of delving into the collective tablets. So I preemptively sent you all your research. And if anybody has any questions about your research that was done, what I sent you, let me know, and the Acumes will help you find the details that you're missing. I know it was a lot, I'm sorry.
I read it all.
I know you did.
Dorus takes a long time to go through as many tablets that he thinks could possibly be relevant.
Okay. Yeah, I would assume this would probably take most of the day for everybody. I am going to briefly go over what everybody found in summary. So for Nimu and Soli, you did find, in a way, some information about the Keemson, but it was more the history of the people who have visited there after the disappearance. Soli, this is not information that is necessarily new to you, though you did have moments of reflection and could notice the similarities between the ruins here and the ruins of Wolfden Falls, where the Keemson lived. Now that you're reading some of these histories from the pilgrims who had come directly after the disruption, and they speak of not having any information about the great buildings there or the temples there. You had visited Wolfden Falls after the Keemson disappeared. I would probably say at least 2 or 3 times. And trying to think back on it, those times you visited, you have no direct memories of the temples or what was left of the buildings of the first ones. All of your memories are previous to the disruption and the disappearance of the Keemson. As far as the dragons go, you found some folklore and information.
Yeah, a little bit of mythology.
Yeah, of dragons and some conjecture about what had possibly been places where dragons could have been or visited, or maybe were welcome at some places. For Dorus, when it comes to the history of the naturals of Avenvon, when you're trying to look for anchors, balance, spectrals, and any information on the ways, it is all exactly along the same kinds of lines of the work that you already do. It is people who are studying the ancient histories, trying to piece together things. From the history that you have learned second person or third person, through the seed of the way, the anchor of the way, or the anchor of land, and seen within the ruins themselves, what they had been studying and coming up with as theories seemed along the right lines. Though they didn't have the titles, they didn't have the understanding of the greater structure of power, but they had the right idea, of course, in much more detail. When it came to the Devourer, once again, the naturals of Avenvon have no experience. Their ancestors have no experience of it, and you know why, because they weren't even beings yet. But there are many, many folk tales regarding massive creatures from the time of the first, or massive creatures who were on Avenvon during the time of the first ones. As far as your magic goes, I'm going to leave that private for you. EOA. Or EOA. EOA, as everybody goes downstairs, and I will say at the very end, everybody would be in the tablet space of the library. EOA has spread before him many tablets from many pilgrimages. Now, a few of them cross over to you, Nimu, and Soli, and Dorus and Jax, you can both look upon them as well, if, there's stuff of interest in there. But he has just delved head first into these tablets. And you see him going back and forth between a few of them, trying to find something very specific. About... Well, I would assume that EOA would probably say, looking for information about Seville. Let me see, there was something else, I'm sorry.
Savelle's a tabaxi, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even remember the questions that you. Oh wait, I have it in my other document. Runic magic in the valley, and then anything on the first ones in the Vereki. The first ones in the Vereki I did not add to this document because honestly I didn't really have time, and there's not much that you're going to find. I would say, being kind of what you're diving into now, Dorus would be able to find very similar information on the Vereki, or you know what? He would pull a tablet that had the mark of the Vereki. And for Dorus, it meant it was not what he was looking for. But you immediately gravitate towards the EOA. And within, you find studies that have been done on these strange runes and people trying to copy the runic structures to see what they do. Many mishaps, a few deaths, and quite a few incorrectly copied runes. And you can find them now used, like your fire rune, you can find it now used in people's fireplaces. Those that have studied this just kind of as a, hey, look what I can do. But that's pretty much it, unfortunately, when it comes to the Vereki. Jax spends much of his time in the main library looking for information on the druidic studies and the druidic path. And then finally finds his way down to the room with the tablets. The collective for the druidic studies is quite large and in depth because it is a very well practiced path on Avenvon, specifically here in the Hollow. So it's quite easy to find first-person accountings or even first-person studies and people trying to come up with their own spells or magics or way of speaking to the land, the plants, the animals, connecting. And Jax begins practicing a meditation towards the end of the day that he has found in a very specific tablet. But I will say, now that everybody kind of has an idea what everybody else was studying, you can now, if you have any questions about what you were given, any, if you want to follow a certain path that you saw within what you found, let me know.
I've got a metric ass ton of fucking questions, but like, I have a feeling we could make this entire session nothing but questions about the documents we received.
You might be able to answer each other's questions. So we can do a round table. And you're more than welcome to spit out the first question.
I want to know what the fuck the light is.
Well, what are you referring to? I would think
The
Soli
light.
is the only one that knows what you're referring to.
The dragons tore open a hole in the plane, in our plane, for one, and then the Titans in their fight with the dragons sealed away the light, and now the dragons are waiting for the light to return to wake them up. I mean, even like the last words they whispered across Avenvon, it says, "Look to the skies and listen for our call when light once again shines upon Avenvon," which I'm guessing is some sort of like planar thing, that there's like not a connection or something to that plane anymore. I'm not sure, but I have a lot of questions about that. I have a lot of questions in general about this stuff.
So if you ask one of the Acumes, he will tell you that that's one of his favorite folktales. And at the very, like, towards the end, as everybody's kind of coming together, well, you have to understand that folktales are twisted stories of what people believe. But this one is certainly one of my favorites. The idea of Titans being here and being fed up with the first ones and punishing them in somehow and just taking away their light, and dragons fighting for those who were here before us, eventually falling, which is the reason that they are no longer here, but promising to return. It's just, it gives you a strange sense of like childlike hope that one day dragons will come. I don't know what the light refers to, because obviously we still have light, but I don't know. It's a great story.
Yeah, what about the Titans? What the hell are those things? I mean, heck, what the heck are those things?
Where?
I am going to copy and paste this folktale. There's some interesting wording in it.
Yeah, I'll share it with everybody for sure. Like, I'll let everybody know, what I found. Because I do think it's kind of interesting. It gives you a nice little backstory about the, so in case everybody didn't get enough stuff in their own document, here's some more stuff for you to
There's
read.
even more stuff. Whoa. Yeah. I do have a question though.
Okay.
Like, I've heard of, so Brewer's tablet mentions about wolf them balls and some kind of suspension.
Yeah, I have the same thing.
Yeah, y'all have the
and
same document.
When I think of that, is that something that's been experienced or seen before? Like a phenomenon that's been seen before, like somewhere else, and has it ever reversed?
Well, and what's the disruption?
So the disruption is the moment that the portals opened on Avonvon and Phenovians came in. That time is called the disruption.
Okay.
Okay.
So it says that really the shit's been going on since the disruption.
Yes. There would be. You know what? I would say technically there would be a correlation of suspension
Yeah.
in the archipelago. Underneath the archipelago, there would be a few people who would have sensed the same thing. It is like not the archipelago, the floating islands themselves, but where the ruins lie underneath the archipelago. But as far as having somebody with the magical talents to do that, it's assumed that it was a magic of the first ones that is no longer available, that nobody knows how to use.
Cool.
Anybody else?
Stories speak of titans that were attacking the land or wanted to take the power of the ones that were controlling the land, right?
I don't know. It's a little hazy.
I wonder if this devourer that is in threat now is maybe one of these ancient titans.
Or the Durig, the Titans.
So it says that there were titans that were anchored to the land. So you got to assume that there's still some left. But it mentions titans and first ones, and I kind of thought maybe the first ones were titans, but it looks here that they're
Fractals the
separate.
Titans?
Huh?
Are the Fractals the Titans?
Well, in several folktales, ancient large creatures that attacked first ones were mentioned, and they must have been very large because they tie these folktales to, you know, giant mountains being destroyed and strewn across the land, or giant chasms being carved that seemingly were made by some giant magical being, but you know, things that are unexplainable, but could easily be covered by, you know, a titan of some sort if it is really large. And definitely fought against first one, same as Devourer probably, but seeks to corrupt power, take power.
I think the Drig are drawn to these places that the Titans struck.
Dorus, Nemu, Iwe. Make intelligence. Just roll intelligence for me.
Jesus, now I get a nat 20. 21.
Very nice.
I rolled a 1 on my fucking investigation for the library, by the way. Which is why Tiffany was just like copy and paste Solis,
Yeah.
add dragons.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like you're working with Soli, sorry.
I got a 4.
A 4.
Oh no.
Perfect.
11.
11. Okay, keep talking.
I want my adrenaline point.
Sorry.
Yeah, I still have an inspiration from last time. Do we keep those, or they reset or whatever?
No, you keep them. They don't reset on a long
I don't want to
rest.
use it on that, but I'll just.
Yeah. Nat 20.
Yeah.
So anybody else have any more questions?
Not really.
Okay.
I share the symbols.
Jax has a
in
question. Jax is like,
Oh, sorry.
I know. I got unplug
I was
it, plug
probably
it back
talking
in.
to plug in his mic.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That's funny.
I share the symbols from the other book I read, or the other tablet I watched.
Okay.
And it's about the family that was searching the other temples of the first ones, and it's basically like a sort of a 6-sided symbol that represents different sects or ways of magic, and seems like it's always 6-sided, whatever it is. I don't know if that's relevant or not, but
So from the information I gathered, there was places like the Phoenix Fracture and whatever, the icy place that the Drig were trying to invade or something.
Belgrand?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to spaz out every time that I try to talk and nobody responds. Start going nuts.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Jack's turned into a bear again.
Yeah.
I know. Poor Jax.
All right. So when I finish basically all my reading, and I'm trying, I want to reach into my pouch and pull out those herbs that I had bought,
Okay.
and bring out Puds as well, and just look at him and be like, "All right, little buddy. I know this isn't probably something you want to do, but it's something I want to do. I need you to make a tea out of this, because, see, I read the words, but I don't know if I can do the words. Does that make sense? Anyways, I'm hoping that, maybe if I get one with nature, maybe I can understand it on a more deeper level. So, if you wouldn't mind just making me a little bit of this tea and see where this rabbit hole takes us."
So, Puds tastes a few of them, and you just see him, like, usually he's like bubbling and like really excited. He just kind of shrinks down. He's like, "Bleh, bleh." And he doesn't seem super excited about what you're trying to do here.
I
But-
know.
He'll make your tea.
How dare you?
He does slip in some jasmine, hoping that it's going to be a little bit better. But he'll make your tea and just kind of puddle himself. Wait to see how bad it is.
All right. And I'm going to just down the hatch and just shoot
This is
it back.
the partially hallucinogenic.
Yep.
Perfect. Is this what you're doing for your first attempt at the meditation?
This is what I'm hoping, because essentially I've taken it as like, I read a lot of stuff on what druid acts are and like what they're doing, like, oh, this guy created fire and helped out this stuff. Okay, so how do I do that? So I'm hoping maybe by like, like Indian like herbal stuff and doing
Oh, okay, okay.
doing
Is that doing it for anybody
Whoa.
else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, is that me?
doing
Oh. What?
What
Every
the
time
fuck?
he speaks.
Okay, this is the weirdest thing. I'm gonna unmute you again, but every time you speak, it just says doing. Speak.
doing
So
So good.
weird. It's looping you. That is so funny. I'm so sorry, Jax.
doing
What is happening?
You're gonna watch
I don't
this part of
know.
the stream later. It's
This
hilarious.
is so funny.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
I switched.
Good shout out to this.
I switched screens
do it,
and I
do
went. I was like, I thought I caused something.
Yeah, I thought I did it too. I was like, what the fuck? What the
I'm
fuck?
like, and then everybody got the look. I was like, okay, no, it's Jax.
That was amazing.
It was good.
What a glitch.
Doing.
We need like
Yeah.
a hand sign or something for when his mic messes up so he can look and know.
I know. Does that help?
You just
Just
knocked
knock
over
my
your
mic over.
entire.
Yeah, because it's not meant to be like this. It's meant down, but it was in my way.
Am I normal now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Doing.
Dude.
do it.
Okay, so the meditation thing, the connection. So you drink this tea, and it doesn't. God damn it, Silas! And it doesn't take long for this tea to kick in, and you become completely like disassociated and depersonalized. I know that's probably a strange word for most people. I am very familiar with it. To where you are almost watching yourself in third person. And at the same time, you feel as though another is trying to step in with you. But they're not stranger. They're the feeling of this person is incredibly familiar to you. Almost as if they've been with you since you came to consciousness. And they start humming this just resounding note. And as they do, you feel this vibration echo through your body, and you feel it move out through the room, past the room, and it keeps going further and further and further. Now, you know from your experience here within the Hollow that there are some very strange happenings going on. As this vibration just kind of flows out, you can almost picture what it's touching. Now, it only goes out for maybe a mile, maybe, but you can feel the energy of the beautiful flowers that you saw on your way in, the reds and the fiery oranges and yellows. And closer, as it kind of spreads out closer to the mountains, you feel this withering and an energy of utter chaos and confusion. The plants almost tell you that something recently, not today, not yesterday, time doesn't really make sense for these types of things, but something recently had destroyed their communication with each other, their roots. And the feeling you get is very similar to the twisted monstrosities that y'all fought when you were fighting with those of Hafen against those creatures that are coming in, and then also against the creatures at the Temple of the First Ones. And somewhere in the near past, there was one who just tore through a small area of the plants here near Sherlumen. The animals are afraid to go near that area. It's just this, it's like a dark hole within this light that you see. Okay. But the experience is very strange, as you're almost being guided by this other presence. They ride with you on this wave, explaining, but not in words, more in thoughts and emotions, sharing what they know with you. And I would say it would probably be longer than 10 minutes, as you just kind of explore every little nook and cranny of what you can now sense and get an idea of, as this other being this other person being tries to explain to you what you're seeing and what you're feeling. You can even barely sense on the edge towards the southeast some of these plants that are just on the border of sentient, very confused about those who don't belong in the hollow passing through, but not knowing how or what to do about it. That would have been you. You all, when you were coming back from the temple. But it is a very strange sensation because of this other person who is taking part of it with you. I don't know how else to explain that without being like super giving away shit, but that's your experience with your first meditation. As the conversation starts at the table, you just kind of see those of you who would be glancing over to see what Jax is doing, because he would just be at a table near you or maybe at your own table. You see Puds just kind of like all squished down, almost like a puddle, just waving back and forth as if impatient to see what happens with Jax. And Jax is just in a very meditative state. You saw him like that in the Chris ruins. There doesn't seem to be anything to be worried about, but just a notation. Dude.
I think Doris is too like enraptured in all the literature and the slates and the boards or whatever these are, the memory boards.
Yeah.
Like noticed anything really.
Okay. Anything else for Sir Jax?
Just kind of hoping with I don't know if it cut off when I was first explaining it, but hopefully with the added tea, it's kind of like one of those like Indian trips that they go on to get like deeper within themselves, so that way I can kind of like get one with what I was reading. Like, that guy used fire in the book, can I use fire? And then just kind of making those connections as to what I really am.
Oh yeah, just as your mind takes you on your first dose of this drink, it just kind of takes you out. The main thing that you notice as you're practicing is you are not alone. Period. You are not alone. There is no other explanation. There is no other anything. It is just you have help. And because of the tea, you don't even have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
Yep. No strange shit. Anybody else? Tim's in the bathroom.
I wanted to take a lot of notes, like not just copies of the book, but like kind of generalizations about what I've read and seen in these memories.
Okay.
These are like memory tablets, right?
Some of them are. I would say the majority. Everybody would start upstairs with the books, and then like continue onto the personal histories, which is the tablets.
So like some of the rumors or like folk tales and stuff would have been kind of like someone retelling it in a memory.
Yeah.
Got it. See, I'm just taking notes over what I've read and seen, and putting it in my notebook.
Okay. Now, is there anything pertinent that you want to share amongst each other? That is like that you feel everybody should know straight away.
Yeah, I think just the symbols thing for me. I'd like to share that there's like the ways someone was kind of like studying the original like powers of or like leadership of the area of Avanvan, and the symbols were like all over different temples in different places and seemed to have importance over that kind of thing. So it's like again like a six-sided symbol that symbolized the leadership of the old world. If I'm like summarizing this wrong, you can just yell at me. But
No, you're summarize it as you fit. I will copy and paste this into our channel. It is a screenshot.
I just noticed
the
something
symbols?
I didn't see before in my stuff.
Uh-oh.
So Savell said, so the question was asked, any other important events happening that might be beneficial? And she said, this is all coming to an end.
who's Savell?
The tabaxi that caused all this, or we assume that caused all this.
And she said that to you directly or who?
No, in the memory stone.
Oh, got it.
So what he's referencing is when there is a pilgrimage, they have a list of questions that they ask every pilgrim so that they can document it for their histories and get any more information they may not have, or some fun stories about their lives, folk tales, you know, their cultures, whatever that is, as they pretty much stay within the hollow itself. And in one of these questions, the question was, are there any other important events or significant information you have that you believe would be beneficial to the library? And her answer was, this is all coming to an end.
Totally not ominous at all.
Totally not ominous at all. Not at all. So for those who did not get the history, or who did not look through the pilgrimages, the questions are fairly standard. It's what's the reason that you're here on the pilgrimage? What is the current status or the current situation with the great families? Which is a strange question to ask, but it is question number 2. What are your favorite memories? Once again, asking about personal history. Did you experience any anomalies or enlightening moments during your visit? What do you wish to research at the collective library? Have you been to any other locations? What experience did you have there? Do you have any knowledge about the infected creatures and plants? Knowledge about the entities, which would be what you guys know as the fractals, the auras, that kind of thing. And then any other important information. What questions do you have you wish to have answered while you're within Mazent Hollow? Those are the questions. It's just 10. But those are within every pilgrimage. Those are asked of the pilgrims. Not with you guys, because you're not really pilgrims.
I will say to everyone, since we were interested in ruins before, that some of the ruins, they talked about ruins in this, and some of the closest ones were, one was believed to be in the Mudrim Mountains, but actually wasn't, I don't think, or they couldn't find anything. And then one was a bit north of that. And then there was also stuff in the Crying Cascades
So from you and Soli and Nemu's research, there are known ruins in the Silent Rent, though nobody's ever really made it deep. The Crying Cascades, which somebody tried to sneak into but was not allowed. Belrind, which is very open. Aquarios. Wolfden Falls, as we know. There's supposed to be, strangely enough, ruins below Entora. The Lunatora Stones, which is just southeast of Entora, and then the Mindra Mountains, which is just southeast of that. And then, of course, the that thing.
We were right next to the Mindra Mountains.
And then all of the places on the spectral tree that you saw on Dorarus's map.
So you were talking about the suspension. You were talking about the Crying Cascade.
What has happened tonight?
No. Yes. No.
There you go.
Hey.
It was in his beard. That's where beard sounds.
I don't know. So when you're talking about the suspension, like what was happening in Wolfden Falls, were you talking about the Crying Cascades, the Archipelago?
Archipelago.
I like that name better.
Yeah.
Archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yes, the area below the archipelago.
Yeah.
Archipelago, not archipelago, because it's in the fucking air. Archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yes.
This is gonna be like trying to pronounce prestidigitation. It's gonna take me a while.
Oh my gosh.
There's also two other names for it if you can't say that head.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to get an idea for like putting the kind of places to all those different. There's the Phoenix fracture.
I
Okay.
need to find a way that y'all can add like pins to the map.
There's Wolfden Falls way the fuck up there. Holy shit, that's way up there.
Yeah, it's very far north. Well,
I was pointing out the closest ones to us currently. And there
So
was
Mindra
something
Mountains-
happening. Hold on. I read something, but I lost it. I have too much stuff. There was a
No.
town that was in need of the family's aid. I believe it was next to the Crying Cascades. I could be wrong.
I think it was just southeast of here along the coast next to Wolsavane.
No, there was another place too.
Oh, was there? Guys, I've typed so much in the last 2 days.
Not even the DM can keep track of all this.
I can't.
Seriously, she's.
How do you
literally
think
been
I'm
doing all this stuff
feeling?
for 2 days? Yeah.
Let me
Okay,
try
so.
to-
So what you were pointing out was the different runes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I keep looking at my sheet. There's so much stuff to cross-reference. It's the downside to having this and then all the other stuff is you have so much shit to cross-reference.
So that's why I made the bullet point list. Now, I will say you do have, and we haven't had to use it yet, but you do have the quest tracker.
Oh yeah.
That any information, any places that you find in there, add it to the quest tracker because I believe y'all should have edit capabilities for that.
Yeah. Let's go back here.
Was there
Plus-
a place called Ancestia, or did you just misspell ancestral?
No, yes. Incessa.
Where is that?
Shit.
There's Ansiva on the very far northwest.
Yeah, I see
Seven?
that. I thought you said ancestral at first, and I was like,
Hold on, let me control F it. Spell it for me.
so it's ANCESA.
Oh. That's the family.
Oh, that's a family?
That's the Anseva family. That's Dorus's home.
Okay, so there's something all the way up there.
Another ruin or something else?
Like, I got like a bunch of different cries for help, basically.
So Anseva is in dire need of aid? Oh, see, this is something Dorus would be really, really interested in. They
Here,
have
I
made
can find it.
It is Pilgrimage History is the first one. Question 2, answer 5.
Yeah, if you talk about that city, he would know that area.
Yeah,
pretty
the
well.
whole family. Like that whole area. If you click on the family map, you'll kind of see like that whole area is under the Anseva family.
I was looking at question 7, 5.
Yeah, that's a follow-up to 5, question 2.
I guess you just misspelled it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did.
I wasn't sure what you were referring to there.
Yeah. So it says Anseva is in dire need of aid. This is somebody that came from Anseva to the pilgrimage. They have made peace with the orc kind. Now that they are under new leaders, but the western lands are stretched to the limit. Quarios has offered help to grow more islands, but they need assistance from Tulian and Tora to help build them up. The two families have been working on an agreement for over a year with no end in sight. And then the follow-up to that is we've had experiences with many creatures in the Anseva lands, the infected creatures. The orc kind have been instrumental in aiding us. We don't know why they are there, but they seem to come from the mountains mostly. A few sea creatures have been reported and ships have been lost at sea to strange circumstances. So that's what's going on in Anseva.
I feel like I went to just a quest hub just now and picked up like 30 different quests.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
You know?
I cannot keep track of any of them.
That's okay. That's okay. Y'all wanted, this is library, and I just told Tim, y'all are only allowed to visit a library every quarter because it's a lot of work for everybody.
I added my own reward to, I made up quest text.
Oh, Jesus.
Who turned out the lights?
Okay. Wait, no, that's the wrong one.
That's the survey.
That's the survey. I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Dragons return with light. 5 golf pieces into green.
That's the standard reward for a quest.
That's the reward if somebody told you about it.
Can we get a green dragon? If that's what a green is.
You get a green dragon. Who turned off the lights? I like the quest description. It was literally just a.
You need a section just like quest name.
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go.
Insert 1 column left. Quest name. There you go.
I would say 2 is unless something happens to snap him out of it, Jax is just in his own little world right now, just tripping balls.
So I'm gonna do it after the session or during the break. Just record all the stuff that I found.
Yeah,
Into
of
there.
course.
Hey, all my quest stuff got all fucked up.
No, it didn't. I added a new line called quest name.
Oh, okay, there we go. Quest description.
Is the
So-
session where we got the quest or when we did the quest?
Campaign session when you got it. And that a lot of this doesn't have to be filled, guys. This is all for your reference. I don't pay attention to this. But it is here. So, if there's other things that you feel are important for other people, go ahead and go over that. Otherwise, we can move on to where you reconvene with the three.
Talk about the elephant in the room, so to speak, but not Doru.
They're quite sensitive about this. Thank you.
Do you all want to discuss adjusting the weave and freeing Imrosi? Okay, you are in a secluded place. The Acumes will leave you to private discussion if you wish. I would encourage you to bring Jax out of his reverie for this discussion. God damn it. You quit.
I'm having fun with these quests. I've got all these quests in my head. Now I need to figure them out.
So, as the conversation of to free or not to free, EOA goes over to Jax and just starts like snapping around in his face and maybe giving him light
Okay.
little pats.
Okay. Freeing, we're freeing. What's her face? Its face.
Imrosi.
And Rosie.
Yeah.
And who was Rosie again? Why am I drawing a blank on this shit?
Is the mind
He's
guy? The way
the
the mind
anchor
guy
of
is
land or
trapped
whatever.
inside there.
This document.
I think the
another
real
document.
question is,
Okay, hold on. Let me research. Let me go to the other document.
You didn't read it?
What document?
This document. Oh, I said-
You free or not to free? That one.
Yeah, the fancy document. What the
Holy
color?
shit. Okay, hold on a sec.
Yeah.
You didn't read it.
I think the real question is, what is an Amorosi?
Yeah.
When'd you all get here?
Pud's kind of like wiggles up and like is checking on you from where he can.
Is it just me or does he seem out of it?
Oh, hey there, little buddy.
Well, that's the dude from last session.
Yes, he was in last session. Good job.
Guys, he literally watched me write for 2.5 days.
I'm sorry, I can't not.
I am terrible with names, first off. And secondly, like if somebody had just said the dude from last session.
I said the way
It's
it's
the
my
dude from
guy.
last session. We have him
Okay,
on
the
dude.
dude from last session, okay.
I almost said Imstala.
Well, those are the little things.
I got
that
the
stand out
first
to us,
two
right?
letters right.
Oh yeah, and we had this huge discussion last time on whether or not we should free him. I don't know. I'm still on the fence.
That's why I made this entire document. Give you all of the facts.
Well, but like,
So you didn't have to go through all this.
I'm a simple person and I don't need facts.
As simple as I can get it.
I go from the gut. I'm like George Bush. I go straight from my gut. I don't need facts or anything that's useful.
I think all of us in Amaretto need to just have a good time together.
So, to me,
So the bird has no clue what's happening, and our bear is high.
Well, hello to you too, Yahweh.
I'd just like to say, I think it is clear that we were sent on this path to find this person, but I'm not exactly sure we were meant to release him or not.
Whether we release him or not, one thing is certain, is that there are monsters in this world, and people die from them. By
Yeah.
releasing the magic, we can help stop them.
There's also something nasty in like that direction over there near the mountains and stuff. I felt it. Like it's not good, you know? Like a dark energy. The plants, they all don't like that area.
Well, I guess the real question is, do we go on the straight path to the big magics and try and save the world, or do we try and find more information first and do some smaller things around the place to help the locals, you know?
I just got this fucking image of Jax like wandering around with like a fucking hippie crown, like flowers and shit. Like, hey man, I just feel this negative energy from the mountains, man. The fucking flowers, man, they're talking to me. It's so crazy, man.
He became a hippie druid.
His pupils are like this big.
Yeah.
He has like the bear eyes, but not the rest of his body.
Exactly. I'm leaning towards releasing him because, like I said the last session, like if we have to, we can just kill him before he gets too powerful. If it becomes a problem, you know, like down the road. But I think, I don't know. I'm very reluctantly in favor of, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a solid 5.5.
And maybe by releasing him, we can release ourselves.
Very well spoken, Jax. Release ourselves.
Because it is clear that more magics will become available if we do so.
As far as we know, he has to gain power the same way we do.
Well, I think it's settled then.
Sully?
Well, I'm very reluctant on releasing this, but it means that it might help. Yeah, I'm for it, and if he tries to do something, then we just, you know.
I mean, I think the most frustrating thing is we keep going to these places and we find libraries and we find people, and like we think we're getting information, but ultimately we don't get really anything that like gives us answers. It points us in other directions. So I think if anybody can give us answers, it's this guy maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't have much of a choice. Like we just have to kind of, maybe we'll get some kind of result is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I feel too.
If you don't get results, you got to keep testing until you get the right result. I think that's what my friend used to say. But I
So
don't
you're
know.
saying if at first you don't succeed, try and then try again?
I think that's what that meant, Jax.
Oh, right on, Birdman.
You should sit down. You're not looking too stable, buddy.
Oh, I'm just feeling good.
Okay. Just don't fall on me.
Would anybody else care for some tea?
And I'm quite good, thanks. I think that tea would be a little strong for my small little frame.
Puds jiggles like excitedly. If you were to give him your pouch, he would start grabbing everything that is a stimulant.
Yeah, I bet. Oh.
Well, since nobody said they wanted any, there's no tea to be brewed.
Afraid of taking whatever he took.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Well,
So,
which way did Jax point to the mountains?
it was the area just outside of the main city of Sherlumen where some of their crops are. that were have been affected by the creatures, the twisted creatures that come.
Yeah, I feel like at the very least, if we release it, we're releasing like, kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever saw My Little Pony, but he's for sure, what is that, Chaos guy? I feel like. Discord.
Like, yeah.
Like he's gonna kind of do his own thing most likely. And we just kind of need to make sure he doesn't go astray.
Yeah, let's keep a close eye on him.
Yep. I mean, because I'm reading over all this stuff, and a lot of this stuff is like information that we already got about him, right? So,
Yeah,
Everything is
right.
information from past sessions
right.
and documents. Everything.
The only thing we're gonna have to do is contend with whatever Sayer Cienti decides. We're gonna have to deal with her wrath, depending on what happens. Now, did we ever ask why he was imprisoned?
We didn't know he was in prison until we got here. Didn't know he was even
I
here.
believe we asked, but he didn't answer clearly.
Give a clear answer. Yeah. That would be my only.
Well, I think he said he was banished, right?
Yeah. Is that in this document?
Yeah, it seems even in my banishment balances and still in need of my extension.
I believe it was in the letter. No, somebody said that they had the anchors and balance, like, pretty much shoot everybody out, and once everybody left, they just locked the door behind them.
Yeah, he was just abandoned there.
Yeah.
Do I have this thing about the creatures right? That they're his creatures, but Balance used the creatures to find us?
Yep.
So I guess the philosophical question we have to ask ourselves is, are we okay with forging a direction by ourselves, or are we going to take whatever direction the gods or the first ones put in front of us? I think Nemu's answer would be he'd be okay with forging his own path.
I would totally forge my own path. I would not follow the gods.
So, yeah, I think
Gods may be.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's my answer.
What is your path that you choose, though?
What do you mean? What path am I going to choose after I've?
No, like, as far as, like, the biggest question at hand is, do you leave the Hollow?
Will I stay or will I go?
Without releasing Amrosi and without adjusting the weave? Or are you going to try and manipulate the weave and free Amrosi, or one or the other, whatever? That's the last thing that y'all have to do here.
Okay, manipulate the weaver. What else?
And or release Amrosi.
I want to help people, but I believe that we can't do that without getting stronger.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from as well. Like you need to gain something, right, before.
And by freeing him, we get stronger, potentially.
Yeah. All right, so fuck it. I say we manipulate the weave and just go full send on this motherfucker.
Heck yeah, bro. I'll agree too.
So we're all in agreement.
I'll go back into that shit and manipulate it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I believe Doris needs to send us there.
So the three
Hannah?
had requested, yes, well, maybe. So the three had requested to speak with you after your studies. You would like to join them for dinner and tea. Real tea. Not Pud's magical tea.
I look at it suspiciously.
Yeah. Mundrick, of course, is incredibly excited as soon as he gets word from his Acumes that you have finished your studies, and he will meet you within the library itself as you come up from the stairs. I have something very exciting. Come with me.
Okay.
And he takes you outside the library, and standing out front, talking to Bruvar and Baldurin, is Feanti with his brother Glinty. And they are
Oh,
all having a
Dad.
conversation.
They're all having a conversation.
Feanti
With
looks
Valenti talking.
with Glinty talking.
Oh,
Feanti
oh.
looks over and sees you all, and he just has this big smile and tears form in his eyes.
Hey. You're okay.
Glinty turns around and looks at you. So you're the ones who brought me out of that.
Yeah. What were you seeing while you were in that state?
His eyes kind of blank out for a moment. Nightmares. We'll just call them nightmares for now.
Right. We could talk about it later. I don't mean to pry. I'm just like, we've got all these big things in front of us, and we've got to like save the world and shit, and and stuff, and stuff, and we just need as much information as we can get because we don't want to do something stupid. And I'll look back at everybody.
Totally won't break
Fancy.
anything.
Feanti, his brother, will speak up. Well, so far you've done amazing deeds. You brought my brother back to me.
What about
and
everybody else? Are they all good too?
Starly is recovering as he was younger. He's a little bit confused, but we have healers working with him, and his family is with him. But he's back, and from I've heard, so are the others.
You hear that, guys? We did something right.
Were there any attacks on the city last night while we slept?
No, not last night. It was, there was a couple of small creatures that crawled out from the fields, but nothing like it had been before when y'all were there.
Was there any attacks during the night in Shirlumen?
That's what I just asked last night. We slept here, right?
Oh,
We're talking about Hafen.
yeah. Feanti was talking about Hafen. Mundrick will speak up. No, we haven't had attacks for many nights now. The last one, for some reason, they tore into one of our herbs and just decimated the root system. It was like a giant grub of some kind, and we're trying to nurse the plants back to health, and we have our those that we know that have the ability to work with plants.
Is that what the dead fields are?
Yes. They still seem to be withering, and we might have to turn the field. And start over on that part of the crop. But that was many nights ago. We haven't had anything get this far in for a while.
Have you looked at the moon lately?
The moon? No.
Yeah. Oh. Well, when you get a chance, take a look at it. I bet you it'll be beautiful.
Feanti looks very disturbed. Did your friend get some kind of affliction?
You get
no.
of the sort.
Yes, it's
Oh.
self-inflicted.
I'm just gonna snap in front of Jax's eyes. See what happens.
Yahweh, good to see you.
Well. Okay.
No.
Well, we're having a celebration dinner at my manor, in light of this wondrous event, and if you would join us, I would greatly appreciate it. The three would like to meet with you, myself of course included, and kind of go over what we the realizations that we have come upon. Maybe not at dinner tonight, but soon. We need to discuss that. But tonight is a night of celebration of you and all that you have accomplished so far and all that you will. You truly came at the right time to do what is needed. So come for dinner. There's tea, there's coffee, there's wondrous foods, and Fayanti and his brother Glinty will be able to join us.
You had me at tea.
So he will lead you back over to his manor, which is of course just a short distance from the collective, and we will go to break as it is already 9:30.
That's crazy.
No way.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
And we shall be back momentarily.
Is the collective the name of the library?
the issue. So, I mean, not even like Tiffany's doesn't have a problem either, and we're sitting in the same room. Unless it's just the way these lenses are picking it up. I don't know. What are you using, Silas? Is it just like
It's just
It's
a
this
standard
camera in front of my face.
webcam thing. It was like $20.
I think, Silas, I think if you were to check your lineage, your ancestry, I think you'd find you have some Vulcan blood in you.
I have what blood?
Vulcan. You ever watch Star Trek?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like you're like the way you behave, your general actions and your facial features make me think you're a Vulcan.
It's like everything is pre-thought out.
Not really.
He pre-caches everything.
Yeah. It's like everything is so deliberate. Makes you seem really smart.
Seem.
It makes you seem really smart. I mean, I'm not gonna say either way because I don't know. Anyway, so dinner itself is full of laughs and jokes between the brothers. Many thanks go out to you five. Let's see. Mondrick will pretty much leave you to speak with the brothers. Sorry, I just told.
Him is blinding people. It's understandable.
It's true.
Another minute on break.
I know.
Yeah, so we're back. So we're at the dinner. We're being celebrated as heroes, as rightfully we should be. There is absolutely zero doubt at all that what I did was going to work.
Which of the
for sure.
which of the three is like most like not impressed but like happy with us? Like on our side.
On your side, I would say both Bruvar and. Oh, okay. So, Munderick is overly excited about about Imrosi, about Avenvon having more magical power infused into it. Bruvar is pretty. Where's my note on Bruvar? Bruvar wanted to destroy the weave. Or find a reset button. Valoran was very. He just had a lot of questions, much as many of you did, about Imrosi and his plans, what it is that he did. He was very interested in viewing the tablet to see what he did in the War of Gods, or the War Against Gods, whatever it is you want to call it. So I would say everybody kind of has their own thought patterns for what you have done and what you're doing, but everybody is over excited about the afflicted being fixed. Everybody is incredibly excited. I would say Bruvar will even say multiple times in different ways that he's rethinking his view on this weave that y'all have worked with before, because if doing more things with the weave balances out more of whatever has been going on here in the Hollow and beyond from the stories that they have heard from the pilgrims, then maybe it wouldn't be such a bad thing. Mundrick being Mundrick, of course, is giving him more and more reasons that it should be done. And yes, laying it on thick. Valoran is just glad that he's not you. Because he doesn't know what his decision would be.
Is Missy there?
Mita.
Mita.
Mita? No.
No? What the fuck? Where's my music partner?
Yeah.
Damn it. I'd be asking around for her, trying to find her.
So Feyanti would tell you that she's back in Hafen.
Sad.
She wanted to ensure that the afflicted were better,
Limu's definitely disappointed at that.
but as soon as he returns, he will let her know that you want to see her before you leave. So maybe after...
I'm gonna be bummed the entire time that my friend isn't there.
Aw.
I wanted to play some music. So
Um,
sad.
Over here, I'm asking about it, and I just kind of chuckle and I say, yes, we do all miss her cheery disposition and, fanciful tunes.
Yep, fanciful.
Well, I will let her know, and I'll have her meet you after or before you leave. Whatever it is that you decide that you're doing next, I will send her straight away.
Awesome, thank you.
You're very
Yes,
welcome.
About this very subject, actually, I wonder if you could recommend someone in your communities who could help us send a message a great distance. I know those magics do exist, but I don't know how to do it myself. I'd like to send a message to a friend.
I have a list for this. Somewhere in this 38-page document of mine.
You have another
I don't need their name or anything. I just want to know
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
document
Yeah.
for your document that supports your document.
No, my script, my script, like it literally
Okay.
is a book.
Okay.
Oh, yes, we have the sender.
Austin is
Yeah, the Cinder.
Excel.
Cindy the Cinder.
Austin's the Excel nerd. You're now the document nerd.
Bruvar actually will speak up. Who do you want to send a message to? How far are we talking?
Not quite sure. Perhaps other plane, even.
Another plane. That could be more difficult, but
Yes, hence what I cannot do myself.
it really depends on how familiar they are with the person, so that would be very difficult.
Yes, we would have to explain, as this was probably my forethought as well. I just wondered if it was possible, that is all. If you don't have someone that can help, that is fine. But we'd love to send a message to the, to the one who sent us here to discuss further before going forward if possible, but seems like maybe not possible.
Well, they can at least attempt it, but I have no promises. That's very difficult. It's a
Of
very
course, any
difficult
help you can
undertaking.
offer is appreciated. Whether it works or not, we appreciate the help.
Yes, of course. I will have them sent over tonight after dinner. So, what are your next plans? Are you going back to the Temple of the First Ones? Are you heading out after this? Do you need somebody to lead you through the mountains or up the river?
I would like to investigate the affliction the plants
Of course, I can arrange
have been
that.
having within the city here before leaving town.
Of course.
I believe our next step is heading back to the temple, see what we can find, our last findings, after getting new information.
Right. Of course. Of course. Well, of course, anything that you need, we can try and provide for you. Yes.
I think Sarah Santi actually put us.
Your mic is in your beard again.
Is it really an inch really matter on this?
If it's in the face fuzz, it's like
How weird.
Every inch matters.
this is true.
She giggles about it. What the fuck? Listen, document lady, you're not allowed to have fun. You calm down over there.
I would like to try to slip out and go find the armorer Nelly or Nieli.
The armorer?
Yes.
Pretty late.
Oh, okay.
And
I'll wait for
they were
morning.
in Sarantor.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, they were in
I
Sarantor.
forgot. I'm gonna make that note because I forgot which.
So,
spot.
yeah, what I was gonna say too, what I was trying to say, but my beard couldn't hear it or couldn't communicate. Is I think if they're not allowed to intervene, Sarah Cienti and Imrosi. I think so. She sent Zane and sent us to her home, her seat, the seat of the land. What's not to say she didn't send us there specifically to free this guy, to bring him back? Because if she's not allowed to directly say stuff like that, like, is there some sort of pact that they made? What's not to say that she sent us here specifically for that reason?
Well, there are 3 seats, and the seats held the powers over certain types of magic, apparently. And I don't think CR Cienti lived here or anything, right? I didn't get that.
She was balanced.
Yeah,
This was
she
not
was
her
very
seat. This
balanced.
was the seat. Yeah, this was the seat of the land, of the anchor of the land.
That's a different person, different
Oh,
thing.
I thought it was the same person. Oh, okay.
No, it's Feldreyessen.
Balance is like the line between the 3 that keeps them all, even and check or whatever.
But even then, even without that, it's still interesting. Like, we had to have been sent here for a reason, right? To this specific place where this specific guy happened to be.
That's why I was saying, I think she said it, or it's a she or he, I can't remember. CR, CNT. They sent us on this path to eventually come across this person,
Yeah.
Rosie,
I think that's what we all
not
agreed
knowing
on
what we would do
last
once we
time.
got here, or what we should do once we got here.
Okay, so I'm talking about stuff that was already agreed upon. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just reading back through this document and going back over all this stuff. The colorful one.
And it's pretty clear to Dorus that releasing this Imrosi person will change the way magics in this realm work. But
I
he is
think-
unsure if that's a good or bad thing.
I think at the very least it'll set us on a path of that happening. But he doesn't really have the ability to do a whole lot at this point, so
Look, he's in prison. What happens when he gets out, though? That's the difference.
but I think they were still sapped of most of their power. Am I wrong?
Why would you imprison a guy if you took all his power away? That doesn't make any sense to me. I think you
So-
imprison him. I think he's imprisoned so that he cannot practice his craft anymore.
Thought he
Whatever
was
Yeah,
it is.
so
He
He said-
he was in there, and then he was left behind when all the magic was taken away,
Right.
and he was just trapped in there from the no magic.
yeah, so he said specifically, I found the note, session 12. To end the wars, the anchors imprisoned Avenvon and forced us all to flee.
Us being the powerful magic beings, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so he didn't get out in time and lost his magic by staying here.
Most were able to return to their ancestral home. I did not have that luxury. I belong to all, guiding fate, leading people to a path to become their greatest self. Of course,
So
he said
kinda
that all to
chose,
you.
He kind of chose to stay. Okay. Because he had no place to go back to, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dora still wants to talk to Zane and the CNT if he can, but
Okay.
if that's not an option, then I'll go
You
along.
have to figure out how to do that though.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm pressing the DM for how to do it.
Yeah.
If it can't do it, just tell me.
So, Messy the messenger will appear. So I'm not gonna search for the name.
This is right here. Imrosi will not have access to the entirety of his abilities.
And you give her the description of Zane. Or CR Sayanti. Which one?
I feel like I'm more familiar with Zane.
Okay.
Talked to him longer, so I would like to say.
I
Okay.
don't believe we ever saw a definitive form of CRCante.
Everybody saw something different. That's why I asked, because it's like, okay, what's your description of CR Sayanti?
And I want to describe the little pixie kid.
Okay.
And do I need to like physically describe them or something?
Just as close as you can get to his description. It's in the document somewhere. I'm not going to make you search for it.
Yeah, I just in my head is a little pixie guy. I don't think I took
Yeah.
notes from that.
Imagine like a ball of light
The glowing
that just
thing.
zipped around everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. He just kind of buzzes all the
I think it
time.
was a she, if I remember right.
Zane is a boy?
This boy? Okay. I did
Yeah.
write little pixie guy, so
Yeah, little pixie guy. Or Firefly, Jax calls him. Little Firefly. So she gets the description from you, Messy, the messenger, and she is like very strangely okay with this. This is different, but let's give it a shot, shall we? And so she tries to imagine this little creature in her mind and sends the message of
We need to talk to you.
yeah. We've met Imrosi. I don't know how to what to call CRCNT. Is that they have a title or something?
They have many titles.
they do have many titles. Zane gave you a
Prophet? I don't know.
list.
Oh, I can just call her Balance. I'll call him Balance.
Yeah.
We've met Imrosi, and we require an audience with Balance to discuss further actions.
Champions
That's all.
the Mouse
That's
Eater.
all.
Okay. So she attempts to send this message, and she'll wait for a little bit for responses. Sometimes it can take a while. And then all of a sudden she shoots up from her chair. I think I got a response. I think that okay, the words were very mushed together. Is that a thing that they do? Right.
Is that right?
They do many different things. Just go with it.
He will contact you soon. Wait for the drop and something not with balance. I am sorry. Their words were all one word. It was really
Yes,
hard.
they never speak directly, even in person, so it makes sense.
Describe the sound that you heard.
It was a very high-pitched voice and talking very quickly. Okay, so we got the right person. Okay, well, I'm glad I was able to help, and y'all have a wonderful night. Let me know if there's another message you wish to send.
Yes,
Yes.
I reach out my hand and try and shake the person's hand. We appreciate your
Yeah.
help. It's very, very good to be able to send a message like this to our partners in crime, so to speak.
She'll shake your hand. Well, this is the one thing I'm great at, one thing I'm good at, and I love doing it. And it's always a new experience. Have a wonderful night.
I will bring your, I will sing your praises, Sanderson.
As you shake her hand, you feel a little bolt of static electricity. She's like, "Oh, I am so sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. Yes, have a good night."
It's probably a trick from our friend, to be honest with you.
Well, that's, he seems like fun. And
That's just one word for it, but thank you again.
she'll leave. And it is obviously you've been in the library all day, so you have a chance to rest.
Before the night is over,
Before the night is over,
Is Jack still in his like hippie mode?
No, the
come on,
the
but no.
strong teas, the strong
Pepper
teas and
meal
those
and
kinds of things.
everything, come
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was curious to see what that and being drunk what mixed into.
Oh, right. Yeah, just sleep. So, Soli, as soon as your head hits the pillow
Yeah.
and you have all of this information bouncing around in your head, specifically the information that Nimu had found, or that y'all had collectively found on the dragons, it seemed so inconsequential, a beautiful story. But you've heard many, many folktale, as the Herangong love stories, as well as from your uncle and the Keensen.
Yeah.
But you carry this with you into your dreams. And the unnatural darkness of nightmares fills your vision. Red eyes, heat that blisters your skin. You are huddled once again, hiding from the creature who stalks you. Strange guttural growls fill your mind, and within them, you now hear words. Though very much broken up, strange sounds, regret for. Presence is required before the unification. Alone. Gift of my strength. Endure. The light returns. Call for me. Faith in you. And the heat recedes. And the blisters that you felt forming on your skin don't disappear. It was as if they were never there. And then you hear, well, you called. I'm here. What is it that you need? And a small portal in everybody's rooms open up.
Yeah.
I think there was a couple of rooms where everybody bumped. And you hear this call solely in this weird echoey type way. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, as he's like hopping from bed to bed to bed. Where's Soli? What did you do with Soli? She was just here, she was there, she was with us before. What happened? Oh, there she is. And as Zane says, there she is, the sound of the strange echo ends. And it's as if you're in the room. You called? I am here. What is it that I can do for you? He's just like buzzing in place.
We had one night of good rest,
Yeah. So
and you
what
have ruined that.
I heard a voice saying about unification, gift of my strength, the light returns, and there. Call for me. Ooh, what?
What me?
I feel blisters on my skin and fire.
I get up and I walk over there. Do you feel okay now? Do you still feel any pain from this memory?
I don't know. It's a nightmare.
I cast light on my thing so I can get a better look.
So Soli looks like all of the blood has drained from her face. She is incredibly pale, and her usually vibrant pink hair even seems a couple of shades dimmer. But as she wakes up a little bit and kind of comes to her surroundings and comes out of that nightmare, the color is returning and her hair is becoming a little bit more vibrant. Zane is bouncing around. Dorus, he grabs your face and you feel like little bits of electricity like vibrating through your head, and he's looking in your eyes.
Aha, I knew that the electricity was you.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, wasn't it? And then he'll buzz over to Soli, and he'll kind of like ride on a little lightning bolt around your cloud. I'm so sorry about your nightmare. Really, it didn't have anything to do with me, and I really hope that you're okay and that you don't have it again, or maybe you should have it again. Maybe it was a memory, or maybe it was something that you really need to know, but that just hasn't all come to you yet. And then she'll zip over to Nemu. Or he'll zip over to Nemu, to the little decanter. Oh, this is very interesting. Have you been able to use it? Oh, it smells really good. Can I taste it? And he'll just take a taste. Ooh, that's invigorating. And he'll just kind of boop you on the beak. And then he runs over to Jax.
I've never been that excited in my life.
Hey there, little firefly.
And as you say, hey there, little firefly, he jumps up into the top of your little memory bead and is just bouncing on it like a fucking bouncy ball. He's like, hi, it's really good to see you. You know, I didn't know that I would ever see you again, and I'm really glad that you called, which was really, really weird. I think I scared your friend, but I wanted to let you know. And then he jumps off and goes over to Ioway and is like dancing around Ioway all the way up and down, and Ioway, you're like shivers. He's like, oh, that's right. It was not outside, it was inside. Very cool. I have concerns.
With what?
What did you do to the possibility? It's been changed. The possibility has been morphed and changed and added to, and it wasn't me that did it. And I'm only going to guess that it was probably one of the spectrals or somebody. Are there gods here now?
It was Imrosi.
Oh. And for the
The
first
way of
time
the
you've
mind
ever
we
known
have met
Zane,
him.
he got quiet.
This is why we sent for you. We wish to speak to the balance about the potential of these ways to, and whether releasing them is the correct thing to do or not.
So, apparently, one of the very first things Sarah Santi told us in session 1, and in parentheses, after Zane tells us of our heroics, was to expand on our skills, reestablish the ways, and eradicate threats to sovereignty.
Yes, I remember this, but I don't quite understand, you know?
Well, there's a lot I don't understand.
What is meant by sovereignty?
Threats to sovereignty, like, well, I mean, I guess a threat to sovereignty is to a sovereign tree, apparently.
Does this mean like the royalty of Ralios, or the leadership of Ralios as current?
No, I think it was like when people's minds were blanking, and like I think that's a threat to sovereignty, right? Like,
So
if
like
people
personal
lose their-
sovereignty, personal sovereignty.
That's the way I kind of look at it.
Zane like bounces on Jack's little memory ball and flies over to Soli's storm and kind of swirls around, and he's just like, freedom! That's his only comment about what that is.
Oh my.
Freedom. Wait, what do you say freedom for?
As you're talking about sovereignty.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Knew it. He's an anarchist.
Look, Sierra Santi really was pushing her limits when she talked to you before, but she can't really talk to you again. Not really. That would just be way, way, way out of line. And then there's other things that would happen, and that's just not good. And you don't want those things to happen.
So, Imrosi, tell us about Imrosi. What is CRCNT's view of Imrosi? What's their history together? History is important.
He just kind of like stops mid-flight, which is weird because like literally mid-air as he's bouncing between everybody just stops. This little vibrating energy. Okay, so Imrosi was a spectral. I'm sure that you already know that, and if you met him and he gave you this thing, then he probably told you all about himself because he's really, really good at that. However, he's really, really good at that. However, I would like to think of him as a neutral party in general terms, and If this is a step in the path that you have chosen to follow, then I would say take the stairs.
What the hell? What does that mean? Take the stairs.
Get going, get going.
Keep going, I'm assuming.
What about the other ways? They're less neutral, you're saying?
Another pause. Little shaking. Some of the ways are neutral and some of the ways aren't. It really just depends on the polarity that you're looking at it from. Now, my personal polarity, obviously, is a little bit energetic, and I really, really like the energetic ones. So, the Way of Spirit was one of my favorites. The Way of Transcendence was really, really, really strange because really it's just taking away energy and giving it to somebody else. I kind of like to keep my energy. But I would say the rest of them were pretty polarized.
So how are we to know on our journey here? We come across the way of the mind. The mind has been controlling people outside of his. He's been trapped in a pocket realm of some sort. And he's still controlling things outside other people's minds and causing problems and things. How are we to know that he is good or bad to release?
Well, that is something that you're going to have to decide for yourself. However, he's not directly infecting anybody's minds.
Yeah, it seems like he's
just kind of a part of everything, and what he does is, you know, he has a realm, and people dream, and people leave this realm and go to other realms when they dream or when they have flashbacks or whatever that kind of thing looks like, and that's where they belong, and that's where he is, and that's where his influence comes in. There's nothing you can really do to stop it. It's like if you die, where do you go? You can't just go nowhere. You have to go somewhere, and your body will probably go to the realm of transcendence. So they still have influence, whether or not they can actually do anything here on Avonbon.
Remember what he said, and I'm going to quote this. He said, "My name is Imrosi, Grand Manipulator, creator of heroes, anti-heroes, villains, and anti-villains. Purveyor of destiny and dreams, once spectral of mine."
Oh, he really likes to talk about himself. I told you he was good at that.
So, without a purveyor of destiny and dreams, like, that kind of sounds like a sad place. Is that where we are now? Since he's been locked away? Maybe we need this person to become heroes.
I think that just means
Or villains.
That just means in the neutral sense they create good and bad. Whether they want either one is not relevant.
Well, I think we should free him. I'm gonna go free him.
You must follow your destiny!
See?
It's not helpful, little one.
They always talk in riddles.
I don't
Well,
talk about
we appreciate your time for coming to see us. You can come see us anytime, you know.
Yeah, don't be a stranger.
Really? Do you mean that? Because I'll stop by whenever I have a free moment, which isn't a lot. Well, maybe I can squeeze in a few times, but
Maybe like
that'd be
once
really cool.
every week. Once a week.
Yeah,
I can do that once every week.
Once a
Just
week.
a
sounds
second, and
good.
we have crazy questions. We save them for you.
Well, I will answer what I can answer, but you must understand that I'm also kind of under this binding contract because I work with Sayar. Anyway, well, it was good to see you.
You like working with the Arbiter.
We work very well together, and I'm able to do the things that I like to do, and she likes to be able to use them. And I really can't say much more because I've already said too much, and I might be in a lot of trouble for what I just said.
Can I detect thoughts? Him?
Oh no, you can.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
This is a horrible idea, but let's do it.
This is a horrible idea. Hold on a second. Myself.
And I'm pressing.
It is a multiple lines of thoughts. You are pressing?
Yep.
So, immediately you get
The lizard's head's gonna explode.
an overwhelming sense of
Turn around
panic.
and my head's gone.
Yeah, an overwhelming sense of panic. But that is layered on top of, and that is about him speaking too much about his relationship with CR Saenti. And then there's an excitement that he might actually have friends because nobody really likes him in his own plane of existence because he's just too active and he likes to do too many things and all they want to do is just ride the energy and go from place to place and be part of everything, but he doesn't want to do that. And then, ride the energy. And then
Ride the energy, man. Just go with the flow.
and then he has looping thoughts about Imrosi because he's had experiences with Imrosi in the past on behalf of CR Saenti, and for him, they were all very, very interesting because it was all a dichotomy. So it was all very like black and white. and he would very much like to see him again as well, and he's hoping that maybe he'll be able to interrupt you in your meeting with him, but he can only come in a week, and that's kind of, that's kind of a bummer because you'll probably won't be talking with him, Rosie, in a week, but however it went. And then as you push deeper, is there a line of thought that you're going into?
What is CRCNT?
What is CRCNT? So as you kind of follow this line of thought,
Is that a
CRCNT,
Jeopardy answer?
I need you to make
500.
Yeah.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, which I know you're great at.
I thought the target had to make it.
Oh, he made his. Don't worry about him.
Okay. And my mind is just gonna get blown up. That's what's gonna happen.
You're gonna roll a 2.
Oh, I actually rolled decent. That's a 15.
Very nice. So
That's decent for me.
as you delve deeper, this electricity is like this strange bolt of lightning that goes from him into your mind. And it is painful and it's overwhelming because his lines of thought are never straight. Even his subconscious thoughts of people. In the brief moment before he slaps you out of his head, you get the idea that CRCNT isn't actually a being. They are an entity. They are like a great balancing scale. It's more of a presence. Yeah. So they are the presence of the rain after a wildfire. They are the new life after a sun explodes. Like that is what they are. And they are able to coalesce their presence, their sentience in a way when they feel
That we can understand or something.
yes,
Yeah.
and when they feel that they cannot balance something that has either gone out of balance or is going to. So that his thought process on CRCNT is very strange because it's all of these things at once. And that whatever that link is that y'all had, he shoots a bolt of energy like straight through it, and everybody sees Ialwe just kind of be blown back. And Zane just kind of runs down this little invisible line and just looks at you straight in the face as you're laying on your back. That wasn't very nice. You really shouldn't do that without asking.
I was just curious. Jax, I might need some of that tea.
Curiosity killed the lizard. Anyway,
That's
he's a
not how
little
that
frustrated.
goes.
He's a little frustrated.
Lizard steaks for all.
Look, you're gonna might break my contract, and then I won't be able to work with CRCNT anymore, and then I'm just gonna have to be stuck doing something else that I really don't want to be doing because right now I have a purpose, I have a plan, I have somebody else's plans anyway. So, but I really don't want to have to break this contract, and please don't ever do that again. Just ask me questions, if I can answer them, I will. Otherwise, just stay in your own head.
Alright, so it felt like you were hiding something there.
Of course I'm hiding something. I have to hide things. If I told you everything, then all of your heads would just explode, and then that would just be a very big mess, and then I would have to go back again.
Are you like a spy, kind of? Like an agent?
I really, 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 really like you all.
I think you're cool too. I think you should just stay with us.
I can't do that.
Well, we'll pay you in I don't know, food and free rent.
We don't
You know
have.
what I eat.
For our house that we don't have?
We don't have.
I'll pay for the room. It's free rent on my dime. It's fine.
What do you
Anyway.
eat?
I'm fine if you want to visit us once a week. That is plenty for me.
I eat lightning bolts and shit thunder. And
Wow.
He's just gonna like buzz around. He's a little frustrated.
Lightning bolts and shit thunder. It'd be more interesting if you ate thunder and shit lightning bolts.
I could probably do that too. Anyway, yeah, so I'll definitely visit you.
Painful.
I'll be counting down the seconds. Good luck! Don't forget, destiny!
Thank you.
And he jumps through a hole.
I'm gonna lay back down. My head is killing me.
Well, that was stupid.
It's not very helpful, but I guess in answering
No,
more
I'm talking
questions.
about our lizard friend.
Oh, I'm talking about Zane.
Well,
I have a wisdom of 8.
we need to talk about your wisdom issues.
I walk over to Huawei. Are you still on the floor?
Yeah.
It's gonna be Iwawe.
Huawei.
Right now.
I'm never gonna get it right. And I put my
That's my
hand
current
on.
mood.
Oh, got it. I'm gonna put my hand on your forehead and cast Spare the Dying. And when I feel nothing happen, I'm gonna go. You're not dying. You're fine. Get up.
Do not detect dying. Get your ass back up. Well, that was exciting.
In many ways.
Yeah.
So, are we all finally settled? Are we gonna go free this person?
After we
settled.
sleep.
Yeah, I'm tired.
It's disconcerting to me that we are the ones that get to decide on fates of this world, but
Well-
it appears that is what our lot in life
Well-
is to be.
If we don't do it, somebody else that's a total dick might. Excuse my language.
Not that I don't appreciate you all, I just think it should be maybe not our choices, but apparently it is, so.
Like I said, it could fall upon a real bad person, and then maybe they'd make a decision just for themselves. You know, maybe I don't know. There's clearly somebody out there that's screwing with us. We need to get ahead of them, and if we free this person, maybe we'll have more power. Maybe they'll make us a hero. It says they said they were the creator of heroes and villains, but we won't talk about that one.
We are following the path balance put out for us, dude.
Well,
And so I
balance
think
can go
this is
either
the way to
direction,
go.
right? Balance could go like I don't know. I feel like we all put things into balance with the weave stuff. But like, what if it was balanced on the evil side or balanced on the good side?
I think that is
balance
why we
just
are here.
everything
We
being
balance
middle of the
cannot make
road?
those choices. We must. That is why the sheep, why they put us on path, and we must make choice, not them.
Well, it sounds like they're just kind of like shapeless beings, so I don't know how much they can really do without influence. It's kind of like, you know what I've always thought, and this is going to get really philosophical from somebody like me, but I've always thought that gods and goddesses only really have power if people believe in them. Right? Like if somebody doesn't believe in them, then they don't have any power really. They're just kind of shapeless forms, like a hurricane or a haboob. We
I
have
need-
those in
Not-
the desert.
I did
These
not take you for a
statements that
religious
he's-
bit, but
These statements that Nemu just made, I want everybody to mentally copy and paste those into your notes. If they were in my to free or not to free, it would be in red lettering, which is
Foreshadowing.
foreshadowing.
I have that right in front of me. I'm sorry. I need like this is more notes. This is more information than I ever got in college on anything.
Sorry. I'm sorry. The entire campaign is not going to be like this.
It's like, hold on, let me refer to my textbook. Give me a second.
Okay, so I'm done. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
Having fun textbook.
That's the Avonpond text. Well, they make them, right? They're D&D books. It's the same fucking thing, I guess. They sell them for $80 or whatever.
You could publish like 13 D&D books.
That's true.
It's not that long.
Charge $30 per book. Well, I don't know. That's just what I was thinking.
I think we go on morning and release this way of mind.
And we'll be like their first, like, pupils or Priest? I don't want to be a priest. That sounds boring.
I think the word is disciple.
Oh, disciple. Prophet, even.
I
Oh,
prefer
no.
the word paladin.
Doris is too much of a science mind to like believe in any of this, and he's kind of like disappointed in Nemo a little bit that he's thinking this way.
Look, I'm just curious on all of it. I don't. I mean, the idea of being super cool and powerful sounds awesome. Just saying, and whether we get it from some random deity or not, I don't really care. You know, I don't care if they're holy or not. It doesn't mean shit. I'm sorry, anything to me.
All right, well, I'm going back to bed unless you have more.
I have a lot more, but I need to go to sleep too.
I'm already in bed. I was like,
Yeah, Sully has not had rest yet.
yeah.
So you all fall asleep. Sully, don't return to your nightmare.
Yeah.
To that blank space in your childhood memory. And you awake bright and early once more in Munderek's manor. Breakfast has been cooked and is awaiting you downstairs. This time it is glazed fruits over pancakes.
Ooh.
And once again, no meat. However, there is a fill of coffee, juices, and fruits and pancakes.
Mmm. Pancakes.
Nothing.
Do I still feel the effects of being mind blasted?
A little bit. It's like a lingering headache,
Mind blasted.
but it's not in your head. It's like in your spine. It's like down your spinal cord. It's really weird.
It's gotta be a
Shifted.
good feeling.
Need a chiropractic adjustment.
Seriously.
Chiropractic soul adjustment.
Yeah.
It blasted my soul right out of me.
So Munderick will join you shortly after you finish breakfast, still drinking coffee.
I ate stupidity and shit my soul.
So, yeah, so he'll join you before y'all have a chance to head out. Well, I hope everybody was able to get some rest. I feel like I was finally able to get a little bit of sleep, knowing that quite a few of our issues here in the Hollow have been solved by you all, of course. And I was wondering what you all had decided to do and where you are going.
I think there's some runes we want to check out outside of the Hollow. In the mountains to the west.
Are you heading there this morning?
I don't think right away.
We wanted to go to the temple first.
Oh, what do you plan to do at the temple?
We uncovered some more information in the library.
We're going back to talk to the Morosi again.
Well, I you know my thoughts on this. I really think that he should be released.
Well, don't tell anybody, but we're gonna release him. Why do you think he should be released? By the way.
I dabble in the magic of the mind, and I think that it would be nice to have more people appreciate it.
Well, even if it's a selfish reason, we're gonna do it anyway.
Are you also planning on working with the weave thing to allow more magic on our wonderful world of Avonvon?
Him being released is kind of a byproduct of that.
How wonderful.
Why do you want to see more magic?
Don't
I'm
you?
I'm gonna use my fucking spell on it.
Is this girl super evil?
This is Munderick.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
detect thoughts on this guy now.
You were great giving us a spell.
Nope. I will tell y'all a secret after the session. If you remind me. Remind me about the secret of the mind spell.
It's like a Sith spell. Every time we use it, we go slightly to the dark side.
No.
Is that the secret?
No.
Like our eyes are gonna be glowing red, our skin's gonna turn like pale and dark, like cracked and.
Yeah, the more you use it, the more nightmares you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Secret of the mind. Thank you. So, as Dorus is asking him questions, or he's asking you guys questions, really. Nimu, you pop detect thoughts.
And I'm not gonna push. Like I'm not gonna try to. I don't want to be detected.
Okay, so it lasts a minute. So if you kind of go over his thought processes during that minute, while he's questioning Dorus and everybody really, you will get the same thing that EOA had been questioning, which is thoughts of Seville. And the potential end of all things. And also his regret for not doing anything sooner about the things that Seville had said. But you also get this underlying, like, whatever y'all are doing is exactly what he wants you to do. And it is along the same purpose of not acting in response to what Seville had been saying. And you hear kind of repeated in your mind a few things. And it's almost as if he's remembering something that somebody else said. And one of them is, we are in need of divinity now more than ever. And sorry, one second.
There isn't like a voice I can pick up in that. It's just a thought.
You can assume it might be Seville.
Okay. Yeah, because you know when you remember things, sometimes you actually remember it in the voice of the person that said it to you. That's kind of what I'm getting at. At least I do. I don't know.
And he's constantly like this. There's this underlying excitement of this used to belong to all creatures of Avonvon, and it should be ours. All of it should be ours. And it is our right.
And what is this guy again? What race is he?
Mundrik is a halfling. He is the three of the three. He is the leader of Sheer Lumen. Sheer Lumen are the enchantment weavers. They are the most adept at emotion magics.
So remind me, were the halflings originally from this planet, or did they come somewhere from?
No, they're
somewhere
from Avonvon. They are naturals.
Okay, all right, okay. Because if it had been coming from somebody that was from that other place, that would seem more like kind of an invasion type comment, like we're gonna take what's rightfully ours type of a thing. Like
Right.
if it came from a human or an elf, you know, it would be a different viewpoint for me at least.
But it's almost like a reverence of what's going on, though he is
Okay.
trying to hide it in the way he speaks.
Right. Okay. Fascinating.
So, is there anything that you need on your journey? Or
You know what I haven't had in a long time? Like jerky of some sort.
that is easy done?
Quality jerky.
Yes.
Well,
Dried meats.
I may not have any in this house, but I am sure that I can get you some before you leave.
Perfect.
Do you have any bird jerky?
Berkey.
I believe that's dried fruits.
Wouldn't that just be turkey? I don't know.
It's like dried turkey or dried pigeon or something.
Dried pigeon.
I'm not sure that sounds tasty.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Do you eat pigeons?
No.
No, I'm asking. I'm asking Toru.
Like, it doesn't matter. Mundrick just immediately says no.
All right, I admit it was poor joke. I'm sorry. I was just trying to get rise out of you, Nemia.
Oh, I see. A bird joke. Yep. I totally didn't get that one.
I thought you would object right away, so I was like,
It was a pretty excellent joke. What do you say?
Excellent. Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, man.
Mundrick will be able to get y'all some very, very good jerky from the area. Being from this part, it's going to be very herby, but also sweet from the fruits in the hollow. If you want spicy, they can do spicy Dormoose. Or EOA.
Hey, I won that
think-
challenge.
Yeah. It's not overly spicy, but it is pretty hot. It's jalapeno level. But so you'll pretty much get like a very, very high quality ration for the day with some dried nuts, maybe even some dried fruit with the jerky and like crackers. But you are free to go to the temple. However, it is that you choose to travel there.
I hold up the key and I say, we want to try to use this thing, see if it actually does what I think.
Go
Why
for
the
it.
hell not? Let's give it a go.
Does it
Are you
open
doing
a
this-
portal or do we get teleported?
If not a clue.
Are you doing this
wonder-
in front of Munderic?
Nah, we should take off, get out of town first, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, let's head out and we'll see if we can make trip a little faster as we get going.
I'm going to hang on to the reins of my horse just in case we get teleported.
Okay.
So we'll walk
Um,
like 10 minutes out of the town or whatever.
Okay. So I would say you walk outside of the town, the red roofs, and into where these farms are. It's quite easy to be able to find a quiet place where you don't believe that you are being viewed. And what are you going to do with the key?
I place it in the opening, like in a flat opening ground area, right? And I put my hand on it and kneel down next to it, and I just focus on it, and I want to cast like thaumaturgy or some like light version of magic. Put some magical
Okay.
energy into it and see what happens.
So as you place the key in the ground, it feels like it's entering a lock. And as you kind of like focus your mind and send some arcane energy through it, you feel your hand click. And a door falls open, thunk, below you.
Kind of like catch my balance. Whoa.
Yeah, so you don't fall through it, but it like swings open, and the door itself that appeared suddenly just is there, but it's as if it was growing up from the ground all the time. It's just like roots and stuff that have come up to form the door frame and a moss bed of where the door would be, but it just thunks open.
Oh, this is very cool. What do you guys think? We should give it a try, no?
I'll walk through it.
Yep.
So it's on the ground, so you have to jump through it.
Yeah,
I'll jump in.
I'll
I'll
jump
shove
into
my horse through somehow.
Yeah, you can try. Actually, you know what? No,
Hidden
I'm not gonna
way.
make you do that. I'm not gonna make you do that because I don't want to. I don't want you to leave him behind if it goes badly. So you jump through the door and land. Gravity switches 90 degrees, and you land on the floor within the seat of the land's chamber.
Can we see through the door what's on the other side or no?
I mean, you can get an idea, but it's fairly dark in there. But as
Okay,
you
I want
land,
to go last
Okay.
And what I want to try and do is keep my hand on the door and get the key as I go through it.
Okay. Easy enough done. However, it being last, you notice that as people fall in right onto the floor and try to scramble out of each other's way, the room begins to light up. The flowers within that kind of grow this room turn to everybody and offer a very, nice ambiance. So you go through and the key slips right out of the lock, almost as if it was just stuck in dirt, very simply. And as you fall through, the door closes behind you, and you are within the chamber of the seat of land. Once again, the table that seems to have been grown there, with the scroll laying within the little area that it was meant for, and the stone that Ioe was holding is sitting in its little place.
Oh, cool. Everything is back like we began.
Oh, and the door to the secret chamber is closed.
I thought we'd be on the surface.
Well, I think the keys goes to the seats, to the different seats of the land. Not of the land, but of the different seats of the realm.
So as you
With
think
the
about the
door.
surface, the light changes just a little bit to that pinkish. All you'd have to do is will it, and you can be on the platform of transference above.
I clear my throat and I look up at the ceiling and yell, "The information is gathered. We can go now."
The room fills with this golden light. Anybody who wishes to stay can, but if everybody would like to go up, that is where you appear. Nothing changes. It's just that strange sensation of falling, and you're standing on the platform. As before, everybody can see the weave, the great pillar that blooms out into the protective barrier around the hollow, and then the rest of the pillar that goes up to the protective barrier around Avonvon itself.
Doros, as he appears on the outside, is like, "Oh, this is very interesting way to use time and space travel." Puts it back in his satchel.
No mind tricks this time.
Yeah, the key is really, really, really cool. Really cool. So, the weave is yours to do with as you wish.
So there was a string of runes
Yes.
that held the prison, right?
Yes, you had identified that, I believe. Nemu had identified the string of runes that were fluctuating within the mind, I believe. And then everybody healed it? No, Nemu found the block for the mind pillar. And then everybody else as a group had found the fracture and fixed the fracture. So Ioe, you know what the runes of the prison look like, or the lock, or whatever it is that I had called it before. Multiple words, I think. Nemu, you know what the boundaries that were placed onto the weave look like. However, it is going to take a group effort to manipulate these things. Maybe not the prison, but for sure the boundary placed upon the bind. So you tell me exactly what it is you want to accomplish, and we will do some rolls to see if that happens.
Well, we want to free Imrosi, number one.
Yeah, I think that first. Yeah.
I want to try a thing with my runes. Runes
Okay.
on runes.
Runes on runes, you got it.
So, using my cloud rune, I'm just going to engulf one of my blades with it,
Okay.
so it's all misty. And I'm just gonna try to do the same as I do with my hold rune when I can disable it, and just
Okay.
try to slash it.
Try to slash through it. Okay, does anybody else have anything that they believe that they can do to aid him? Identifying where to cut, or maybe identifying some runes, anything
I
like
have
that.
advantage on sleight of hand.
Okay.
If that's
Um,
girl.
I'm going to put my hand out on him and be like, just stay calm and concentrate. You got this. And I'm going to cast guidance on him.
Very cool. The D4?
Yep.
So I have a little bit of an idea of well, see, mine was levels, right? It was like we kind of looked at it as like an equalizer last time. Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you had any ideas specifically to help EOA.
Well, what specifically are you trying to do right now?
Release the lock
Breaking
behind.
the seal.
Break the lock to
Yeah.
let the guy
Okay.
out.
I mean, I think I would try to work with him to help, like, because he's got knowledge of the runes, but then I've got more knowledge of arcane,
Right.
right? So
Okay, so roll Arcana. You have a D4 from Jax.
oh, nat 20,
Nice.
23.
I get advantage.
Nice.
Am I doing sleight of hand here?
Yeah, you can do sleight of hand with advantage and a D4. Soli or Dorus, any ideas?
Dirty 20.
Nice.
I mean, I can offer translations. Well, I mean,
Okay.
if it's like in Sylvan or little.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could really do is help them try and read parts of it that they can't.
What would that
Okay.
be? History.
Okay, you can roll
One.
history or just straight intelligence. For either of you,
Okay.
that's up to you.
Yeah.
no.
I got 19 for history.
that's
Oh,
six.
wow. You got a 6. That's okay,
Yeah.
because with wait, you know what the hold lock, the door that Imrosi said was shut behind them as they left. You know whatever that rune structure looks like. However, it is interwoven within multiple different scripts. And not only is it interwoven with multiple different scripts, you also get the idea that there are other layers upon this. But as you all work together and are very sure in what you want to do, and you are not doing it under the direction of someone else, which means it would have failed if you tried under the influence of Imrosi. With Dorus and Soli kind of shifting you around, or kind of pointing out these different scripts, and just helping you where to place your blade within this line, in this weave. Nimu watching for the right moment as the pulse in the bind is this constant, but it's an ebb and flow. It's an in-breath and an out-breath. When he knows it's going to have the greatest chance of working. And then with Jack's, bolstering of everybody's morale, really is what happens. EOA, it is a slow process. It doesn't take long, but it is still a slow and delicate process. It is a surgery. And you slowly begin cutting through this weave, and you watch as threads just unravel. The only thing I will say is, as you watch the last threads unravel and that one circular structure of runes and symbols fade away, is there was only one lock for everything. It was not just for the way of the mind.
Oh, good. We released everything.
Ah, fuck.
But at the same time, with Jax's influence and just belief in what you are doing, you understand that many of these other spectrals aren't going to want to come back to the Avenvon as it is now. They aren't. This is not their Avenvon. Many of them have ascended to gods. It's going to be okay. You were led here by by CR Saenti Zane affirmed your choice that this is your destiny as the last runes melt away. You don't feel anything. There's no overwhelming sense of doom. There's no like burst of energy. There's nothing.
Does my magic feel right now?
This lock had nothing to do with magic.
Damn it.
However, you do hear a slight laugh from somewhere, from Imrosi.
Let's go.
From Imrosi. It is
Oh.
the same. It is the same laugh when you first met him, and he was like, "This is rich." It is the same laugh of just freedom. And then he had it stripped away, but
I
now
want to
he has
be
it
a
again.
hero.
Um,
Don't forget it.
and he will partially materialize on the platform for a brief moment. In this time, Dorboos, you had guessed out of game that it was an illusion. This time you know it's an illusion. It is a projection of himself. Feels good to be part of Avenvon again. Truly, it does. Ah, there's so much. Every time.
Dog barking.
Yeah, there's so much oppression. I have to prepare myself for this, and I will be back. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And the apparition just kind of dissipates. You kind of get the feeling that he has to go prepare himself to be able to be on Avenvon at a very limited capacity. Speaking of limited capacities,
He seemed like he just drank much of Jax's tea.
yes, he is definitely euphoric. Speaking of that oppression, Nemu and others, shall we try to fix that?
Oppression, what do you mean?
The
Magic.
The limit that was placed on the bind.
I would.
Okay.
Oh,
mean,
I
he's
thought you
like-
said it was all one thing. I thought that's what you meant. by
No,
it was
no,
all
the
one
lock
thing.
was the lock was all one thing. That just unlocks the door that
Everybody,
blocked
okay.
everybody out.
Maybe the dragons can come back now.
I'm gonna
He just
use my
leaves his
same
eyes on
method
that board.
to see if it works.
Huh?
I'm gonna use the same method I used with
Okay.
the other thing.
So I will say that this takes quite a bit more of a group collaboration. So I want everybody to roll the same rolls again.
Can I do something different for this?
Yeah, of course.
I would like to roll detect magic to help me detect the way that the magic is flowing throughout the sigil better. And
Absolutely.
if I can, I'll take 10 minutes and just ritual cast it without a spell slot.
Okay. Yep, you can do that. As Nemu sits there and studies the weave, Soli, are you doing something different this time? I can't hear you.
I'll try some, but I got
Okay.
14 this time, so focus a
Nice,
bit more.
very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. Jax, are you doing anything new this time? Maybe with your new druidic knowledge?
Yeah, I just don't know with what though.
Okay.
You should all be afraid of what I just rolled.
But you still have advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With advantage.
Okay.
You should be afraid.
So you can, I would say 23. That's your third nat 20 tonight. That's
I just-
crazy.
I rolled snake eyes on advantage.
Oh my gosh, that is so awful. I'm sorry.
Expect my rolls to be terrible on Saturday, so
I will
So I
say
did get a 6.
that I'm trying to think. You can roll either perception jacks or history using your knowledge that you learned from the druidic books. Because you know there's a lot of druidic writing here, a ton, as it is the seat of the land.
16.
Very nice. Okay, so Mimu knows exactly, he thinks he knows exactly what he's looking for. So
Fucking pro.
you are a pro. You've done this before.
I'm a professional.
You've fixed it before. Now you're trying to undo your fix, not only on that singular weave of the mind, but on all of them at once. Between the knowledge of Dorus and as Dorus detects magic, and
I'm gonna
Nimu,
crank it up to 11.
yeah, Nimu, you point, you show Dorus the weave that you had seen before that had been completely disrupted. And Dorus is able to trace that magic and find where it is mirrored in all of the other 5 ways. There are 6 of them. And find that link. Soli is able to translate a few of some very concerning script lines that may have shattered a few things along the way. EOA comes in with his wonderful blade of smoke.
I'll be switching to a dagger for more ease.
Yeah, more precision. And as he begins cutting, it is completely in the wrong places. For some reason, the part of the runic structure, of the structure of the weave, he is unable to perceive like what Dorus can perceive with detect magic. So between everybody's knowledge, you are able to, and Nimu didn't need a knife last time, to slowly start pulling at the threads of this weave. One by one, all of the different magics that you all use are needed here to find those very specific weaves and in what order to unravel them. This will take some time. And it is as you finally finished unraveling that last thread, your bodies are almost locked in position of doing this. And part of that weave falls away. Though some of the threads seem to be attached to more that you cannot yet perceive. Now that you know it's not there, or now that you know you can't see it, you know it's missing. It's one of those strange things. However, an influx of energy into your minds and your bodies, it was like eating that fruit or being in C.R. Sayanti's chamber. That incredible influx of energy overwhelms you. And as you're all kind of absorbing that and trying to relax your bodies, you hear a door thunk open. Very similar to the way that Dorus's did. And a voice comes through. It's a voice you've never heard before. Thank you for all your assistance. I believe you have served your purpose. And we will roll initiative next week.
Oh, is it the person that we fought the first time?
As a purple-skinned tiefling steps through the door.
Fucking tieflings, nothing good could come of that. I'm
Have
gonna have
we
to put my
met a
mic in my
tiefling
beard
before?
for this. There we go.
What were you saying, anyway?
Have we met a tiefling before?
Dorus may have. In his, like, he's part of a large council. They do lots of studies. with multiple different races and different councils and that kind of thing. They are not an unknown race. They are part of the displacements from Phenovis. So they're not, I mean, you don't see them often, but they're there. Soli may have seen some traveling through Feely Fields. Jax doesn't count. Jax doesn't have memory. Nemu actually may have even seen some.
Jax doesn't count.
Jax has no memory. Nemu may have actually seen some coming to study.
Okay.
With his parents. Or
Okay.
archaeology.
There was a tiefling mentioned in my studies. I was wondering if it was connected somehow.
There was a tiefling mentioned in your studies, but you asked if you had ever met one.
Was it connected?
I cannot tell you.
I'm trying to find it in my notes, but I can't find it anymore.
Can you tell us a secret now?
Oh, okay. So the secret of the mind is that if you would have freed Imrosi before you went back to speak with the three, as you came up on the platform, this was before he gave you your boon. As you came up on the platform, he would have looked towards the three as he said, I will share with you all an ability to assist you in making wise decisions, pointedly looking at the three. So that is the little behind the scenes secret of the mind
I
spell.
found this.
Posting what you found?
Yep.
In the secret in the books. Fucking tablets. I hope you all enjoyed them. I really enjoyed writing them. I really did. It
might
filled
not
out
be
so
the
much of the
same
history for me.
person, But I thought it might be connected somehow.
Yeah. But yeah, it really helped me fill out some of the history and the lore and that kind of stuff. So it was nice to do that. But you can control F your documents for Tiefling.
Well, I tried and he misspelt it, so.
Of course I did. I probably misspelled it everywhere because IE
I
and EI are the
corrected it.
same fucking thing.
My notes are just all red, underlined everything.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not used to me typing stuff as I'm trying to remember stuff during the game.
Yeah. I actually re-listened to 2/3 of last week's episode again, right before I got your message, Jazz.
Yeah, I
Because I wanted to
procrastinated
make
hard on
sure.
that. Sorry.
Luckily, it was something that I've thought a lot about, so I was able to put that together for you. But these are going to be notes that I'm not going to put in a shared document for everybody. These are notes that everybody research themselves, and if there's things that you would share with each other, you can copy paste those parts and message them into the Avonvon group, but otherwise they are your personal experience. Anyway,
Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks for the game. This was fun.
Yeah.
I really thought we'd get to the combat, guys. I'm sorry.
No, there's a lot of stuff to go over.
Yeah,
A lot of
we're
stuff to
so
go over.
indecisive too.
And that's okay. Like, this is a very...
I don't think it was indecisiveness. I think there was just so much data that we wanted to go over, so much information.
I will say that this is the biggest pivotal moment of the campaign.
That's what it feels like.
So, I know, like, just going way back to the survey, that everybody really likes combat, and I hate having so many sessions without really good combat. But I hope it paid off. We'll see. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And just before you ding, get interrupted. How fucking evil!
Just before we ding.
Yeah. You just had an infusion.
Yeah, we just
of
ate it. We just ate a
energy.
bunch of magic shit.
I know. We should get 12 levels for that.
All right, everybody, have a good night. I'm gonna head off.
Night.
Good night.
Like,
Thanks
good
for staying,
night.
Jax.
Yeah. Good night.
I will jump to the end screen. And, post game chatter, of course.